Fellas, it's great to be back. Appreciate all your flexibility and moving the draft around with everything going on. We're in year 5, and it's great to be here. I have a write-up for the power rankings I created myself, but I'm gonna give the people what they want. Got to give them the TikTok too. I appreciate everyone who's updated their team names. Steele, you got to update yours. You don't have Zach Ertz anymore. But I love the Marlboro Reds. Picket Fences is good. CMCD's Nuts is good. I like it around. Truth hurts. Everyone's doing a good job. So ESPN provided us with some power rankings, which I disagree with wholeheartedly. So I got my own thing for you, and let's get into it, shall we? Coming in at 10, Yox, unfortunately, but that's kind of what happens when you take a quarterback in the second round. I have the write-up, which I'll post to our chat, but Brian Robinson Jr. as his RB2 is just a tough thing to see, and Scary Terry hurt, starting 2 commies, not really something you want. Jamar Chase is a dog, but we don't know if Burrow's healthy. Ramondre's good, but they brought in Zeke. Just a lot of question marks, and honestly, I didn't originally have Yox slotted in his last. I had the 9th place slotted in his last, and then when I went to go look at Yox's team again, I had to move him to last place. Just tough. And I know he's a Browns fan. I know he thinks Njoku's good this year, but tight ends are tough. I do like the Devonta pick, but just, feel like there's something to be desired. Coming in at 9, we unfortunately have Caleb. This mostly stems from my deep hatred towards Deontay Johnson. As you all know, I really don't like him. Mark Andrews is awesome, but he didn't really play that much last year. He's been hurt. I don't love Tyler Lockett when it comes to a fantasy purpose. I do like the Tony Pollard, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Hurts trio. Tony Pollard, he's never had more than 50% of touches for a backfield. We'll see how that happens this year, but he was a beast last year. Love Jalen, obviously. Tyreek is awesome, but just wasn't really doing it for me across the board. Breece Hall, who's amazing, but still recovering from that ACL tear. Got Dalvin coming in, taking some touches for him. We'll see. I'm not saying I outright hate the team. I just think other teams are better in the league. So that's kind of where I landed with Caleb's team, and we'll see if he can prove me wrong. Slotting in at 8, we have Please Have Mercy. We have Derek. I think his running backs leave a little room to be desired. I do like the Joe Mixon pick a lot. Damian Pierce, he was good last year. We'll see. The Texans are not very good just in general. Love JJ and Jalen Waddle. Those are great receivers. Those are probably 2 of the best in the league, but that's what happens when he goes receiver. Darren Waller, I think he reached for. I think he got him in like the 5th or 6th round, which he was going to fall probably a couple rounds after that. That was a reach. Cam Akers, we all know the headache of Cam Akers. We draft him, and he's awful. He gets benched. He's almost traded. Comes back towards the end of the year, and he's a league winner. So T-Law, I think, was a great pick. I just don't see the vision as the team as a cohesive unit underneath Derek's leadership. I know that he is looking to make playoffs for the first time this year. I think it's looking like he'll be just outside of the playoff picture if, just how I'm seeing it right after the draft. So we'll see. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. He's got me week 1, so his team can use this as motivation, and hopefully, not for me, but hopefully for him, they can get a win. What happened? Oh, did none of that record? Okay, none of that recorded, so I got to say all this again. I think he'll be a little upset that he finds himself outside the playoff picture here. I originally had him slotted at 6 and the person at 6 at 7. I think his team's fine. Madison's fine. He won't be as good as Dalvin. He's got 2 Eagles pass catchers. He's got Goddard, who they just brought in Albert O, so we'll see if that takes away from some of his reps. Gino's a fine quarterback from a fantasy perspective, especially where Sam got him in the draft super late. I love Calvin Ridley. I love A.J. Brown. Bijan is a phenomenal talent, but he's technically the RB3 for the Falcons, and I don't know if Sam's ever had a Falcons running back, but it is painful to have a Falcons running back for fantasy. I remember having Devonta Freeman. It's just not fun. I think I said I love Ridley. Amari Cooper is insanely frustrating. He'll either get you 4 points or 26 points, and I just don't think the Browns are going to be good this year. I think Deshaun sucks. We'll see. Sam, I think, has a lot of upside, but I'm just not seeing it right now. All right, coming at 6, dumpster fire, Ford. Let's see here. What did I write about? I actually really like Ford's team in general. Outside of Dak Prescott being his quarterback, I think that was a garbage pick. I think he's not good. I think he's going to throw 20 interceptions this year. Chubb is great. That's a good pick. I was hoping Chubb was going to fall to me on the back end. He didn't. Etienne is okay. I think they brought in Bigsby. They don't really trust Etienne as much as they should for a bell cow. Cooper Kupp is the biggest question mark. If he's healthy, Ford's going to be in the playoffs. If he's not, he's going to be in last place. That's what you draft when you draft Cooper Kupp. He's got the hamstring injury already. We don't really know. He's got 2 Seahawks players that he's starting. I do like KW3 a lot. I think that was a really good pick. I probably should have taken him. DK's DK. I mean, he's a fucking beast, but we'll see, right? We'll see. And Kittle is Kittle. He's also a dog, but, you know, they don't really use him that much. So we'll see if he ends up getting the reps that he deserves. We'll see. Ford, I have you coming in at 6 right now, but I think you're the riskiest team when it comes to where you can line up just because of Cooper Kupp. All right, coming in at 5, we got Ben. I feel like every year I see myself, I'm like, yeah, Ben's team's pretty solid. I like Ben's team. And this year I like Ben's team. It's pretty solid. The only reason he's not higher, honestly, is because I don't know what's going on with Burrow's health. No one knows what's going on with Burrow's health, but he probably has one of the best running back rooms in Eckler and Aaron Jones. Garrett Wilson's a beast. T. Higgins is a beast. I think DJ Moore is going to have a good year. Kyle Pitts scares me. I was not going to draft Kyle Pitts this year. He's amazing, but again, he's on the Falcons. The Falcons are a dumpster fire, so we don't know. I do like Ben's team a lot. I think he'll end up being in the playoffs, and just very solid team overall. It was a good draft for Ben. Coming in at 4, we have Steele. Let me see. I love Josh Allen. Obviously, Rachaad White is a stud. It's going to come down to, can his guys stay healthy? Keenan Allen is never healthy. I don't think he's played a full year. He drafted Jonathan Taylor as well, who we already know is out for the first 4 weeks. We have no idea if he's going to play this year. That was a huge risk that Steele took. He's got Michael Thomas on the bench, who we all know is not going to play at all this year. But his team's solid. Derrick Henry's a beast. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Devontae Adams is awesome. And Mike Evans is just consistent. He's had 1,000 yards receiving every year since he's been in the league. Just, I think, a very solid team that deserved a crack in the top 4. And even though it's Steele, I hate to say it, but it was a good draft. And we'll see what happens with him. I think he'll be a playoff team, and that's if he stays healthy, but you can never predict injuries. So I'm predicting Steele makes the playoffs this year. At 3, we got the reigning champion, Rory. He would have been probably 1 or 2 if he didn't have Najee as his RB2. I really think that Najee is just bad. Like, if you've watched him play, he reminds me of Zeke on the Cowboys when Zeke wasn't good anymore. He's just not very good. Lamar is awesome. Saquon's awesome. Diggs is awesome. Pittman is good, but the Colts offense is a huge question mark. I don't think he's going to be I don't think he has the ceiling that people want him to have. His floor is super low because we don't know what we're getting out of Anthony Richardson. James Conner was an awesome pick. I think the Cardinals are going to be awful this year, and he's going to get a lot of touches, a lot of goal line work if they can make it in the red zone. Hawk was a great pick. He's a beast. He's a great tight end. That was a good pick. So we'll see. I like Rory's team. It slots in the top 3. I hope Lamar can stay healthy because you all know I love Lamar, but I like what I'm seeing from Rory's team. I try and be as unbiased as possible. I really do genuinely like my team, but it's always when I like my team, I do the worst. I think having Kelsey is really what makes my team in the top 2, in my opinion. Kelsey is Kelsey. It's Kelsey, and then there's everyone else. If Kelsey can stay healthy this year, I think every Kelsey owner has basically always made the playoffs just because he provides such a positional advantage. I'll admit my running backs leave room to be desired with Jahmyr Gibbs as a rookie and Javonte Williams coming off his ACL injury. You all know I love Justin Fields. I've been in Fields We Trust since I got him last year. I was shocked that Christian Watson fell to me in the 7th round, but Olave, CD, Kelsey, Christian Watson, those are some really good pass catchers that I got going for me, and I think Fields is going to get it done on the ground this year. So yeah, I'm happy about my team. I didn't want to give myself the number 1 because I feel like that will put a little question mark towards my impartiality, but I love my team. Which means, unfortunately, I have to slot Chase in at number 1. He said that he wasn't doing running back drafting this year, and then he drafted McCaffrey and Jacobs at 2 of his first 3 picks. Amon-Ra St. Brown's awesome. If Herbert can stay healthy and his catcher stay healthy, he's going to be a beast. Evan Ingram was actually really good last year. He finished as like a top tight end. D-Hop's a beast, so I think the talent's there for Chase, but he always plays the wrong guys. That's been Chase's story. He never plays the right guys, so we'll see what he ends up doing this year, but I had to slot him in at number 1.